3 episodes ago, this road won. The front end was a mess, diving under braking, wandering on the bumps, and frankly, it was exhausting to ride. I've spent the money, I've done the work, I've drilled the damper rods, swapped the springs, rebuilt the internals from the ground up. Same machine, same rider, same route. Now the question is simple. Did I actually fix it, or did I just waste a week in the garage? This is the test route. 7.5 kilometres of broken tarmac, repeated compressions and mud. It's not a racetrack, it's the real world, and it's exactly where the original suspension fell apart. In the first test, these forks were busy. They reacted to every pebble individually, never settling, never finding a rhythm. The front end was always half a step behind what was happening on the ground. The hardware has changed. I'm running Hyper Pro progressive springs, YSS emulator valves and a heavy 20-weight oil to support the new damping curve. Preload is dialed in through the adjustable fork caps. Now to be clear, this isn't a tuning guide. This is a survival test. I'm looking to see if the fundamental DNA of this bike has changed and if making a set of 30-year-old forks smarter actually translates to the road. The difference starts before the wheels even turn. In the original configuration, the bike pogoed. It compressed too deep under braking and then kept moving. It felt loose. I also had a weird clonk that occurred from time to time. Now, one squeeze, one controlled stroke and it stabilises. The front end sits slightly higher in its travel thanks to the preload, but more importantly it stays there. Controlled movement is the key to a stable chassis. Now this is a section that exposed the floor most clearly last time. Before, the bike felt like it was skimming the surface, skipping over the chatter. Now it feels like it's being pressed into it. It almost feels like the bike is a heavier bike. It's not, but it just feels more planted. Forks still move, and they should. This is a relatively long travel bike on a bad road, but the chaos is gone. While I used to feel the bars punching back at my wrists, I now feel the tyres tracking the profile of the road. That is damping finally doing its job. The 1990s reality was simple. These bikes relied on crude holes in a metal tube to manage oil flow. By adding the emulator, we've given the fork a brain. It can now distinguish between a slow brake dive and a sharp high-speed pothole. The springs support the weight, but the valves and the oil control the composure. The result isn't just less movement, it's higher quality movement. This design is common across dozens of bikes from this era. Simple, durable, but limited. You don't always need a modern adventure bike with electronic skyhook suspension to get a sorted ride. Sometimes modest hardware changes can bridge a 30-year gap in technology. This bike will never be a 2026 flagship, but it no longer behaves like a relic from 1997. It's predictable, it's planted, and most importantly, it's fun again. You can buy a more expensive bike, but there's a specific kind of victory in taking an old machine and making it better with your own hands, especially when you consider that a sorted classic won't depreciate like a falling anvil. Safe riding. I'll see you in the next one.